Hey friends, and welcome back to the garden. Today I want to talk to you about pest control. And one of my best secrets that I have to share today is not really about insects, but rather larger critters, squirrels and deer that have previously ransacked my tomato beds. And what I'm doing this year that has really helped. Last year, I tried literally everything I could think of to keep these squirrels, which are very smart, by the way, from taking my green tomatoes. And from what I've read, it was probably because we were in a drought and they were just looking for some way to hydrate. But in any case, after they got a taste for the tomatoes that I was growing, they just take every single one off the vine. At night, there was just no way for me to stop them. And I tried so many different things. Herbs planted around them. I tried cayenne pepper. I tried anything with a smell. I tried even wads of hair from my hairbrush. And then ultimately I tried sriracha, just pouring it on each of the green tomatoes. And even then, I would find half-eaten tomatoes on my fence line where the squirrels were just laughing at me. It was enraging. And just as I was about to pull out my hair and lose my mind, my neighbor came up with the best strategy for keeping them out. And it is a bit time intensive on the front end and might be a little bit of overkill for those of you that are home all the time and can kind of watch your tomato beds a little bit more. But this would also work well for deer that often like to eat off the tops of your tomato plants, like to eat the tomatoes in general. But I'm going to share that with you today. So let's get to it. For my tomato beds that I'm going to put up kind of like a mesh barrier for the squirrels while we're gone, all you really need are these little ties, these little things that come on bread, or that you can get at like Harris Teeter or any kind of grocery store around the fruit section. Some scissors, I cut these in half, and a stapler gun thing, and then the mesh, which I'm going to get next. And what I do first is I go ahead and cut these in half and start stapling them about every 2 feet along the wood planks here, and that will help fasten the net to the bottom so that the squirrels can't get up and into the raised bed to take my tomatoes. So this is what I used. I bought this from Lowe's website and they mailed it to me. It is 7 feet by 100 feet. So there's plenty of it. Now it's very sturdy material, very pliable. You can reuse it, but yet it's lightweight enough to be able to go over my wire trellising system. And here's just a quick update of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to wrap this around where there's no room for them to kind of get up through here. And because they are smart, they're very smart, and they did still manage to get in once early on before I found out how to kind of tie it a little tighter, and then they just kind of left them alone. So that's the idea. I don't know how well you can see it, but and then I just connect this on throughout. And whenever, it is kind of a pain whenever you want to get in there and get a tomato, but you just find the closest opening and reach your hand in, and occasionally I'll just undo it for whenever I'm going to fertilize my tomatoes. But it's a good way to keep them safe and just kind of have peace of mind that these will all be here when I get back. So here is our finished result. Just kind of like a puzzle, putting all of the netting to where it fits to connect to the bottom with the little ties. And then at the top, so it's not gaping, so birds can get in and get trapped. But this mesh is just big enough for pollinators to get in and keep squirrels out. And lastly, I understand that not everybody has a dedicated tomato bed, like I did it here. Last year I did plant my tomatoes down the side of this keyhole garden bed, and for the areas that I didn't have wood right in here to anchor it to, I just use those galvanized steel garden stakes, essentially like an upside down U that you just kind of push into the ground. Have to make sure that it's really pretty sturdy there, so that the squirrels can't get underneath. But that worked great for me. And those of you that don't have a tomato trellis, just stick to wood poles on either side of your tomato plants to help hang it over, and that should be enough to do that. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope you got something from it, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.